the Slayer Tower. Maybe the most iconic Slayer area in RuneScape. Certainly tied for the oldest with the Fremennik Slayer dungeon. But nearly all of them are like household names in Slayer. I mean, things like Bloodvelds, Abyssal Demons, Necreals, Gargoyles. But there is one monster here that I would argue next to nobody kills. And to explain why, here's a little graph, because I do love graphs. It's not much of a graph, just 4 quadrants. Basically, as you go to the right, things get harder to kill, and as you go up, they get more worthwhile to kill. So bottom left, easy and basically useless. That's like your goblins, and top right is your bosses. They're hard to kill, but they're worth killing. So when it comes to the Slayer mobs in the Slayer Tower, there's only 8 of them. There's 2 that I would categorize as easy and useless. And these are kind of subjective terms, but let's say from the point of view of an early to mid-game Iron who is pretty stingy with prayer pots and resources. So anything that you don't have to use too much resources for is easy. So if you can tank it or safe spot. So Crawling Hands and Banshees, easy to kill, but no drops really worth writing home about. They've got a couple of like collection logs, but nothing too special. Easy and worthwhile. Well, let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum for a second. All the way in the top right corner, hard but worthwhile are the Aberrant Spectres, Necreals, and Abyssal Demons. Now, Aberrant Spectres, you need to pray Mage. So again, that means you're prayer flicking or you're eating it through your prayer pots. So nobody wants to do that on an Iron Man. And otherwise, Necreals and Abyssal Demons, technically you could save spot, but the Abbey Demons are going to teleport you all around the place, so that's not really viable. And Necreals have the death spawn, so although you could save spot, it's not a foolproof system. Fine. What about top left? Easy and worthwhile. That's like your best of both worlds, right? That's Bloodvelds and Gargoyles, in my opinion. Bloodvelds are classic. You could tank them if you've got pretty tanky gear, but more often they're either prayed against or safe spotted. Gargoyles as well. You could tank it, but you need like a Blood Fury or Guthans if you want to go old school. But you could safe spot them also. It's slow, but you could do it if you need, let's say GP or something. And speaking of GP, that's why they're worthwhile. Both in terms of resources on an Iron, lots of smithing resources, and runes. Don't forget about the Chaos Death runes. But also just straight up GP. And then the Bloodvelds also lower amount, but also GP, blood runes. What is the one monster that I haven't mentioned yet? Yep, it's the Infernal Mages. They are quote-unquote hard to kill. Yes, I know if you've got a blowpipe, you just sit here and put on Prey Mage and AFK. But if you don't, if you're an early game Iron with a Goblin Paint Cannon and nothing else to write home about, and you're kicking these guys to death, you got to Prey Mage. You're certainly not going to tank it. They've got not very high hitting, but very accurate mage attacks that will hit like pretty often 8s, maybe even 10s. I'm not really sure the max hit. So you can't just leave your prayer off. And they're not really worth killing. They've got a bunch of pretty mediocre drops with 2 collection logs. And that is why I'm here. They drop 2 pieces of the Dark Mystic outfit. The boots and the hat. And I need them both. For now, I really just need the boots. The reason I need them is I am collecting all the gear that I can on this account, hence the name Collect All. But I'm doing it 1 tier at a time. I'm unlocking RuneScape gear 1 tier at a time. Starting in tier 1, we have to get everything in the game that has a stat bonus up to +1. I can't wear anything better until we move on to higher tiers. From forgotten items to grueling grinds, join me as I try to collect it all in Gear Locked. I'm now over halfway through tier 3. The end is in sight. It's not going to take too much to finish it. But I do need a couple of pieces of Mystic. I have the blue Mystic boots, which are tier 3. The gloves and boots are tier 3. But I do not have the dark or light boots yet. Over to the Slayer Tower for the first time. Now, I don't have the agility level for the spike chain shortcut, so I'll have to run around the long way. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the collection log here. The items I need are in the Slayer tab, because we need the light and dark mystics. At the moment, we're looking for those dark mystic boots, and I don't have any yet. I do have a bunch of the gloves, but not the boots. So we run through the crawling hands, the twisted banshee, not the twisted banshees, just the regular banshees over here. And once we head upstairs, we should see the aberrant specters. But that's not what we're after right now. Let's run around to the infernal mages. Take a look at the gear. Got a nice mixture of melee and prayer. Anything that gives us like a melee strength, we got that +6 melee strength, but also +11 prayer, so that we can last here for quite a while. And here they are, the infernal mages, just a bunch of little like Gandalfs, or I feel like almost more Radagast. I don't know if it's something about the staff. Yeah, so I forgot super attack and super strength. That's gonna help me, right? It was worth banking for that, I think. As you can see at the bottom, I got a couple of kills, death runes, blood runes. But I'll record this one so you can see about how long an average kill takes. Not that one sample size is necessarily going to be the average, but let's see. Yes, we are hitting 5s and 6s. We're not hitting every time. We're not fully accurate, but it's not like it could be a lot better, obviously, with better gear, but it definitely could be worse. I am hitting. So, each kill is maybe 20 seconds or so.
Level up.
It's 57
completed.
attack. A nice passive that we get along the grind is combat stats getting higher and higher. Not that we're going for that at the moment, although we will need it for the bronze defender, which is in this tier. We'll need 65 attack and strength, or we have 66 strength, so we need at least 64 attack. Anyway, that's 57, so we're on our way. Okay, that is the Mystic Hat Dark. Unfortunately, it's not what I'm going after, but I was really not expecting anything this soon. I am at, I'm about 50 KC in. So the hat and the boots are each a 1 out of 512. So that's like 10% of the drop rate. I was really just kind of, buckling in, getting into the zone, trying to figure out, how many prayer pots I need each trip and all that. And, okay, well, we got one. Unfortunately, it's not what I need for this tier. But what it does mean is that once I do get the boots, I'm out of here. So if we can get, another 50 KC for the boots, let's do it. I'm here for that. Okay, as you can see in the XP bar, we are getting quite close to an attack level.
Level up.
There it is, 58 attack and 80 combat too. That's a nice big boy level. All right, back again. We are about 200 KC in, so it's been a bit uneventful. As you can see, you got the death runes piling up, a few blood runes here and there, and that's about all it is. So we're turning prayer pots to death runes at an alarming rate. But along the way, the combat stats are, slowly inching up, and that will only improve our DPS and, quicken our grind, I guess. All right, 1 or 2 more hits now.
Level up.
There it is, 59 attack. The next one's a big level when we got up to 60.
Level up. Completed.
Unfortunately, I missed the 60, but there's 61 attack and 81 combat. You're just seeing clip after clip, but what you're not seeing is the KC go up. First of all, that is 63 attack and about 700 KC. Okay, 65 attack is actually a big level. This means we can now get into the Warriors Guild. 65 attack and 65 strength, technically, although I do have already 66 strength. So technically I could have gotten in already a level before, but 65 looks nicer. So I went all the way to 65. But that does give us access, or already we had access to the Warriors Guild, which we do need in this tier to get only the bronze defender. We're not going for the dragon defender just yet, but that's good to have out of the way, kind of passively along the grind. So 65 attack. Let us switch over to defense. And in terms of the KC, I'm afraid to say it, but we have passed 1,000 KC. That is twice the drop rate for the boots and the hat, which we do have one hat, but I guess we're expected 2 drops by now. So I think I can complain now. I mean, it's really 1 out of 512 for each of them. So, like, I kind of should have expected... I don't know how to say this. I should have expected both of them by 512, but certainly both of them by 1,000, because now I'm double rate for both of them. Whatever it is. Anyway, that's 65 attack and 1,000 KC. Okay, I missed the clip of me getting it, so let's just drop it, put it on the floor so you can see it. Dark Mystic hat. We are at 1,042 KC. That's 59 defense, which is not so big, but it's also 1,600 total. Okay, maybe one more kill for this level. Let's see.
Level
There
up.
we go.
Completed.
60 defense and 83 combat. Now, I'm happy with 60. It's a nice round number. I don't really need defense levels. Let's focus on DPS. So with 65 attack, 60 defense, let's switch back to strength, which is already at 66, as you can see there. Yeah, at this point, just strength all the way. Maybe switch back and forth between strength attack every 5 levels, just to keep it clean. And we are at 1,187 KC. It's just no end in sight. We have flew past 2x the drop rate and hope to not go too much further. So that's 699. That's just the ones logged on mobile. That's the KC on mobile. We are well past that. We're at about 1,400 overall KC. So we do have that hat on the on the not collection log, but the loot tracker of mobile, and then we have the other hat we got on the PC. So that's 2 hats and 0 boots. Unfortunate. Here again, as you can expect, for yet another level, we are closing in on 1,600 KC. That is over 3x the drop rate. And I'm starting to wonder if these guys are bugged. They don't have boots. I mean, you can see their boots are not black. They're not dark, although their hat isn't really either. So I don't know. Okay, can we get the drop on the level? Is it possible? Is it our lucky day? Come on. No, we get bones, although that wasn't the level yet. Maybe one more. Maybe it's this guy. He's got the boots in his pocket. I don't know why, but I'm telling you, he carries boots in his pocket. I've been watching these guys. I've been living with them day and night, going a little crazy. I mean, I know that in the grand scheme of things, these guys aren't that hard to kill. There we go, 68 strength and nothing to do but keep on going. 1,600 KC. Oh, there's a lava battle staff. That's 1 out of 1,000. So we're even dry for that technically, but I am not going for that. I cannot equip it until tier, I don't know, 12 maybe? But yeah, 15 KC. What the heck? Just give me boots so I can move on to a different grind. Come on.
Collection log slot.
Oh my gosh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Holy cow. Okay. Well, we got him. Mystic Boots Dark. The final collection. The final kill count. 1,785 KC. Just about 3.5 times dry. I know 3.5 times dry is not unheard of. But boy, was I not expecting this to be this kind of grind. I wasn't expecting it to be like, a 1 hour, like 1 day in and out. But I wasn't expecting it to take this long. I guess the silver lining is we boosted our stats. We started out around, let's see, it was 56 attack, 58 defense, and 66 strength. So we went from 56 to 65 attack, 9 levels in attack. We just got a modest 2 defense levels from 58 to 60. And we got 2 strength levels from 66 to 68. So hopefully those levels will serve us well in future grinds. And hopefully we're kind of making a deposit to the RNG gods. Like, here, you take this one. We got really unlucky. Let's get lucky on the future grinds. That's the way I see it. I know that's not at all correct scientifically, but sometimes it feels like that. But anyway, we can mark this off and move on to the next one. And now that we got dark Mystic Boots, let's go ahead and get light Mystic Boots from another Slayer creature who also drops it at 1 in 512, and pray that we don't go this dry on the next one. If you've made it this far in the video, not that it's that far in, 16 minutes, first of all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, even though it was just a single grind. It was a long one, a couple of weeks at Infernal Mages. But for anybody that's still watching now, I did want to apologize for the long hiatus. It was not my intention to do that. It was some IRL stuff coming up mixed with work being busy and just, I don't know. I don't really have, there wasn't one other thing. The other thing was I changed PC, which means I upgraded my video editing software, but it's a whole, I had to learn how to use it completely from scratch. So I hope it comes out well. I hope the audio issues are starting to be fixed. I'm still a complete beginner when it comes to audio. I've tried a million different things, and I think at the end of the day, the last video, I just made things worse. So I'm trying to have a very light touch this video, and I hope that it is better. Even if the audio, the volume might have been a bit too quiet, hopefully the audio quality was better. In any case, what can I say? I can't guarantee a weekly or even bi-weekly schedule because I know I've got more stuff IRL coming up. I have several kids. Thank God I've got a lovely house, family, job, and RuneScape unfortunately does not always get the top priority. There's other stuff that's more important. Unfortunately, that's how it goes, and I'm just trying my best to actually get these videos edited. I can tell you this, next video should be the last one in tier 3, and then I've got at least 5 to 6 or 7 kind of completed videos in terms of clips, and several partial ones where I'm still in the middle of a particular grind and I had to take a break and switch to another grind. So I have a couple that are, I have clips building up, but I don't really have an ending to that story, let's say. So I'm just kind of really excited to catch up because I don't know, maybe I could stream some of it. Maybe there can be more of a back and forth between you the viewer and me the creator, as opposed to me just trying to send you clips from the past and hope you enjoy. All that said, thanks so much for watching. We did knock off one very tough unlock this video with the Mystic Boots Dark, and we've got just a few more items in tier 3 to go for next video. Most of them are just gimmies, super easy, and then there's the Mystic Boots Light. This maybe could take a bit longer. It's the same drop rate as the Mystic Boots Dark, so who knows. But I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great day.